And I want to welcome everyone out to the ballpark today, as it is easy to see by riding through Pontotoc that this is a rivalry game. Parking almost impossible to get out here at the ballpark. Adam Gore bringing his action here from the Hollow. Your game today, the first round of the what we have dubbed the Great 8 round of the playoffs. Pontotoc hosting the Itawamba Indians here. The winner of this matchup will take on the winner out of the Ridgeland and Oxford matchup. That's going on at the same time here. Big crowd out here for both schools. Itawamba, of course, traveling well. Not that bad of a trip from here to there. We'd like to thank all the special sponsors that's sponsoring this action here from Pontotoc here in the playoffs as we're getting ready to start action. So you take a look at the field there. The Warriors taking infield here and getting warmed up before the first batter is announced. Unfortunately, I did not have enough time to get the roster here before we started the game. Got a little bit earlier jump than I expected. Ran into a little bit of traffic problem, and seeing how many people are here, I see why there is a traffic problem here. Even got a big camper out here beside us. So there's some serious baseball fans here. So this is going to be a big matchup here. The deeper you get in the playoffs, of course, the better the teams are going to get. This Itawamba team has been noted as a comeback team this year. They've come back in the last series to knock off Petal to advance to this round. Of course, they've come back on teams such as New Hope. Of course, this is one of the teams that beat Pontotoc earlier in the season. I believe it was an 8-6 final was the final there. Of course, that was one of the earlier games in the season where Pontotoc made some errors in that one. Of course, the same thing happened there against New Hope. Well, you take a look at the infield coming in here. Meeting at the mound, getting everyone ready here. This is going to be a high-spirited ball game. There's no doubting that. This has been a great rivalry. As Weatherford will lead off here for Itawamba. I'll try to write down the roster as we go. So Weatherford waiting for the first pitch of the ball game. Delivered in the dirt for a ball. Well, I'll tell you right now, if you didn't get a chance to come out to this series, even though it's just now starting, we're one pitch into the series, you're probably going to miss a great one. These two teams, there is no love lost between these two teams. As I was explaining to some people back at the TV station that was asking about this game, I was like, well, it's the equivalent to a Callan City Bruce football game in the 90s. They're two very competitive schools that it seems it never fails. They always come down to playing each other. That's ball 3 delivered there. So Weatherford is up in the count early here. There's a strike delivered. Reached back and just chunked that one that time. Actually, I think this game get a little earlier start than anticipated. Scheduled for 6. I got here about 5:35, and we're already starting. I haven't been here very long. That's going to be a leadoff walk issued. As Brown is up now. Weatherford reached on a walk. Take a look at Weatherford on first. Brown is at the plate for Itawamba. So reading some of the articles on Itawamba throughout the season and checking some of the archives and talking to a few people here and there. This is a very solid baseball team. They hit well. It's that throwback not in time. They're a very solid hitting baseball team. So runner takes his lead. He bunts him down. Throw to first in time, but it did advance the runner over to second. Brian Dozier up to bat now. This is a name that is very familiar with Itawamba sports. Football, basketball, and now baseball. as he is the third man on the roster here. Man on second. First pitch delivered in the dirt. Well, there's a lot of pressure on Pontotoc to come out and perform well here. Itawamba appears in some of the ratings to be a very aggressive team on the bases. They like to bunt, like to try to steal. Is that pitch high inside? There's a nice crowd still loading up here. The center field fanatics slowly but surely arriving. The bullseye has now been placed. So now it's starting to feel like the hollow. In there for a strike. Nice delivery that time. So he just blew that one by me. He was watching that one go the whole way. Man on second for Itawamba. 1 out. Steps off and looks back to the runner. Well, that's a very vocal dugout over there. But there's a shot. Hit out to the center fielder. Relays in quickly. And now we have runners on the corner.
Yeah, batting the left fielder, number 21, Chance Prestige.
Prestige now. Is up to bat. 1 out, bases. Or excuse me, no. Runners on the corner. Caleb Kidd pitching for Pontotoc. Itawamba threatening to score here early in the ball game. Pitch a little low. I think Kidd might be coming out just trying to throw a little too hard in this ball game early. As a lot of his pitches have been thrown low so far in the game. He's walked 1. That one right there. But was called a ball. Throwback. Oh, close. Thought he got him that time, but apparently didn't miss. He missed him with the tag. There's a shot. Oh, could not turn the double play, but a great grab there by the third baseman for Pontotoc. Just jumped up and grabbed it. Of course, third base is known as the hot corner over there. Made a great play and tried to just throw back a little too quickly. If he would have landed and made an extra second on his throw, he might have got him out. But either way it goes, it does turn 2 there, and Pontotoc a little bit closer to getting out of the jam here. Runners stay on the corner. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Swing and a miss. I missed the name of the batter that just came up now. Runner goes. And they throw to second and score the run. Not for sure why they, of course, with it being 2 outs, they thought they could have got him out, but they gave up the run for the score. So 1-0 here is your score. 2 outs. Runner on second. Swing and a miss again. Strike 2. That one low in the dirt. Good job by the catcher to get there and get it blocked up that time. Got him, strike 3. Well, good job by Kidd that time to battle back after allowing the run to score. Got the strikeout there. Your score after the first or the top of one. 1-0 Itawamba. Itawamba taking the field now, getting warmed up here with a 1-0 advantage as we move to the bottom of the first for Pontotoc. Caleb Kidd on the mound for the top of the first. Walt 1 was hit once and then struck out once. As we're waiting now for the throwdown, Itawamba taking a little bit extra time getting warmed up here in the field. Now here comes the throwdown. Remind everyone to go by and check out the website, www.wo7bn.com. Invite everyone to come there and check that out. See Itawamba coming in the infield. Hester will lead off here for Pontotoc. Well, we've called him Big Hit JJ all season long. He just seems to come up with the hits when Pontotoc needs them throughout the season. And right now would be one of them, as Pontotoc already in a 1-0 hole here in the bottom of the first. Looks at strike one. This is a highly anticipated series going here. A lot of people talking about this one. Even a lot of people's not in the Pontotoc and Itawamba area coming to check these games out, as I believe that goes ball. And the crowd shows it. A big crowd coming out for this one. Hester with a 1-1 count. Steps out of the box. Sidearm pitch dropped and fouled out of play. Take a look at the Itawamba dugout on the pan back and some of the crowd that showed up for this ball game. The stands packed full, sitting about 3 rows deep behind the fence. And still people coming into the ball game. 1-2 the count here on Hester. He hits this one, but it looks like he got under it just a little bit. And just drifts that one back to the track for the first out of the inning. Caleb Kidd now up to bat. One out here in the bottom of the first for Pontotoc. Caleb Kidd, the pitcher, up at the plate. Looks at ball one. Looks at ball two. Those are a pair of tough pitches to hold off on. But Kidd showing the good eye there. Not going on him. Now he swings on this one, chops it right up the middle. Rolls out to center field. And Kidd will reach on a single for the first hit of the ball game for Pontotoc. Good shot that time by Kidd, just sending it right back to the pitcher. Now Tyler Hodge will be at the plate for Pontotoc. One out here in the bottom of the first. Kidd gets his lead. Hodge digs in at the plate. Hodge looks at ball one. Well, as I've talked about many times before and probably will talk about throughout this series and this game in general, Itawamba and Pontotoc's what sports was made for. It's a great rivalry. There's a shot right up the middle one more time. Makes it to the outfield. And back-to-back singles out of Pontotoc. So Pontotoc. So now Gregory up to the plate. With runners on first and second, your score 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Adam Gore bringing this action here from the Hollow in Pontotoc. As we're going to have a little meeting at the mound, as those last two shots have been solid shots right back at the pitcher. One thing that's going to be in question for this Itawamba team versus the Pontotoc team is going to be the depth of pitching. Pontotoc has the edge, in my opinion, in the pitching department over Itawamba. But overall, it could be just whose bats are heated up the most. As of right now, our score is 1-0 here. Talk about Itawamba coming from behind. Pontotoc has been tested this year. This one is lifted, as this should be the second out, as the center fielder getting a lot of work this inning. Comes up and makes the put out. 2 outs. Number 21, Jacob Kidd now coming up to the plate. Two outs here. As the lefty stepping up to the plate. Runners on first and second. This is the first pitch for a strike. Well, future reference, you try coming down this street during a baseball game when they're playing Itawamba, find a detour, because you're going to be here sitting still for about 2 minutes, as that's high for a ball. Pontotoc with runners on first and second. Jacob Kidd at the plate. 2 outs. Hits this one, but it's popped up again. This is going to be shallow and put out by the second baseman. But no harm done that time by Pontotoc. Itawamba holds on to a 1-0 lead. We'll take you to a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
After one complete, the score is Itawamba 1, Pontotoc 0.
And as we come back, you take a look at the center field fanatics out here. Coming out in full force, as usual here in Pontotoc, but not liking the results they have going right now, as Pontotoc trails in this one after 1 inning of play, 1-0 to rival Itawamba Indians. This is the grade 8 or Elite 8 baseball season, as I guess someone is trying to impress people with their vehicle going out there. There's a strike. 1-1 the count. And once again, I missed the batter's name due to the unnecessarily loud vehicle. That one outside for a ball. Thought about swinging on that one, but the curveball goes outside for another ball. The count goes 2-2 now, as we're just now starting off the top of the second. Little shot back to the pitcher. Throw to first, routine out. Who said Ty Rain is up now. Swings on the first one and rips it foul. Sounded good. Like a golf swing. Just landed foul for strike one. Thought about swinging at that one, but hauled off on it for a ball. A little low that time for another ball. 2-1 goes to count. That time delivered a strike. 2-2 goes to count here against Rain. Speaking of rain, there's a threat of rain earlier today. Pops this one up. Right out there to him. Only had to take 2 steps to catch that one that time for the second put out of the inning. As I was saying, speaking of rain, there was a threat of rain as long as up to bat now. But it held off. Got a pretty good shower in Calhoun County yesterday. I was thinking the game might be called off today, but talking to Bill, said didn't get as much as we did. So, hey, good job. We're playing some baseball. There's a strike right above the knees. Good location, good pitch that time by Kidd. Second pitch a little high that time. Might try to get him to chase one, but he held off. 1-1 is the count here with 2 outs in the top of the second. That one fouled out of play. Off the lights, actually. As I think, as much as I've been here, I finally learned how to read the scoreboard at a side angle. I think the count. Oh, I thought that was strike 2 or strike 3. Just blew that one by him that time. 2-2 goes to count here. Deuce is wild. Foul that one back. Staying alive here. Count stays 2-2 with 2 outs. In the bottom of the second. This is Long battling here at the plate. There's a shot. Lifted. And the diving out made that time a great play. Getting adjusted to the baseball after it took a little funny turn in the wind that time for the third out here to end the top of the second. 1-0 remains your score here at Itawamba. Nathan Hamilton now at the plate, the DH, here for Pontotoc. I think Hamilton's one of these kids, rare kids right here that's not a senior on this starting lineup for Pontotoc, but Hamilton's been very effective this season. He's played extremely well. And there's a hit. A gapper right there. This could be 2. It hits the wall. He finds trouble getting it in his glove. Tries to relay in, and there's Hamilton right on cue as soon as I talk about him being a big batter this season for Pontotoc. Leadoff double there to start off the second, so a huge hit there by Hamilton. Now Josh Robinson is up to the plate. He too's been a very good multitasking player, I guess you could say, as he's an effective pitcher and very well at the plate. So he's got a man now sitting on second, no outs here. So we're in the bottom of the second. Your score is 1-0. Here from Pontotoc, Adam Gore bringing this action on TV7. Go by and check out our website, www.wo7bn.com. Swings on the first one, fouls it back for a strike. Special thanks to all of our sponsors, especially those stepping up for us when we need them in the playoffs, sponsoring this action here. As we hope to follow Pontotoc as far as they can go, and we wish the best of luck to the Warriors and all of our other teams in the area. As that one fouled back once again. I believe we have about 5 teams left here in the grade 8 round of the tournament. That one fouled back for strike 2. Runner on second. Pitcher deliberately waiting to throw the ball here. Now he delivers one. This one is going to be back, and I believe it's going to drift out of play. Ooh, just a few yards from that vehicle coming in there. That would have been a rude awakening for whoever gets out of that car to come into the ballpark, and as soon as they get here, get dinged by a baseball. 0-2 stays the count. Robinson battling at the plate. Runner on second. Hits that one back. He's made contact. He's just making it in the wrong way. Hamilton sits on second. Robinson at the plate. No outs here. 1-0 Itawamba lead here in the bottom of the second. A swing and a miss, and struck him out. Robinson goes down fighting. Tyler Holt's up now. One out. The man on second. Trailing here 1-0 to Itawamba. Looks at ball one. Ball two. He's up in the count early here. Looks at ball three. Bad throwback to the pitcher from about 5 foot from each other. As you got to figure, Holt's bat will be on his shoulder. He was taken the whole way that time. 3-1 now goes to count. Here against Tyler. Swing and a miss. A little up high that time. Count goes full. One out. That's Holtz battling at the plate. Oh, got him looking. Thought it was a little inside that time. The umpire instead rung him up. Back-to-back strikeouts there for Itawamba. So Pontotoc now looking at 2 outs. As Kerry Walker is at the plate. Ball one. Well, last time up, Pontotoc left 2 stranded. Runners on first and second. Got a man with a leadoff double. And Hamilton has went nowhere since then. Check swing fouled back for a strike. 1-1 now the count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Adam Gore bringing his action here on TV7, Channel 13 in Pontotoc, and all the rest of the viewing areas. Got even more additions to the TV station in Monroe County and Southern Lee County. Also starting June 15th, we'll be in the Marshall County area. As there's a shot directly back to the pitcher, couldn't catch up with it. They're going to hold him up on third. Good checkup that time by the third base coach, as that was a good relay throw in there. But the third base coach heads up play that time, telling him to hold on. Let's don't try to get thrown out scoring. So now, runners on the corner for Pontotoc. Pontotoc needs to take advantage here with 2 outs. JJ up to the plate now for Pontotoc. Getting the signals from the coach. Right now would be a time for one of those big hits out of JJ that we've seen throughout the baseball season. Runner takes his lead on first. There's a shot down the third base side. Scooped up, gathered across the way. The throw is in time. Like it got in the dirt that time. Thought it got away from him, but apparently he made the adjustment to it just before he got to the bag. So with runners on the corners, Pontotoc leads 2 more stranded. And at the end of 2, your scores remains 1-0 Itawamba. We'll take you to a break. We'll be back with more right after this. You take a look at the fans behind home plate there for Pontotoc. Very little, if any, room there in the stands. As Trotter now will be up to bat for Itawamba, who leads this ball game 1-0. Second pitch on the way. Little high for a ball. 2-0 goes the count. A little low that time. Kid struggling to find his rhythm here early in the game. As we're in the top of the third. A walk is issued to Trotter. Now Weatherford, top of the order, back up here. A man on first. Pitch high for a ball. Steps off, goes back to runner. Delivers a strike. 1-1 goes the count. As I said, the winner of this 3-game series will take on the winner of the Ridgeland-Oxford series going on here at the same time. So the count goes 2-1 against Weatherford. Weatherford walked his first time up. As they try to put on a hit and run. Got him out. Great stretch play that time by Tyler Hodge. Had to stretch out an extra couple inches to reach that one
Baseman number
to
5.
put him away as the third baseman looked at the second base, see if they could have turned too, but did not. Did not have it. As they put on the hit and run that time, the runner did advance to second. 1 out. Nice little dropping pitch that time for a strike. That one chased and fouled out of play. Take a look at the some serious baseball fans there, bringing the big bus out to the ballpark. That one goes in the dirt. Runner will advance to third. So Kidd has been a lot lower on his pitches than we're used to seeing out of him. So lets that one get by the catcher that time. 1-2 goes the count, but now even more important, there's a runner on third for Itawamba. 1 out. That one once again in the dirt. 2-2. This one fouled way out of play. Once again, the new building taking a beating in a baseball game as always. 2-2 stays the count here against Brown. Brown had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Runner on third for Itawamba. Already up in this ball game, 1-0 here. As we're in the top of the third, a quick moving ball game. 2-2 the count. This one popped up out to the outfield. The put out. They're going to try to tag him out. Or instead, he able to climb back to the bag after he outdove the plate that time. Had a little trouble finding the baseball out of his glove. Tried to make the diving effort back, but instead the umpire said the runner got back in enough time. And so the run will count. That's a sacrifice fly for Brown. Gives him a RBI. Well, a sacrifice bunt and a sacrifice fly have been keys to their runs so far, and all both of them by Brown. Dozier at the plate. Looks at strike one. There's a little chopper over to third base. Throw across the way in time, and that will end the inning. Unfortunately, Pontotoc, though, another run was scored. Itawamba up now, 2-0 here as we move to the bottom of the third. Caleb Kidd stepping up to the plate now for Pontotoc, hoping to find that spark that lights the bats here as Pontotoc trailing 2-0 as we move to the bottom of the third. Adam Gore brings this action here on Channel 13 and Pontotoc. Inside pitch for a ball. The wind's blowing out of the park. A rarity, I guess you can say here. But not a very strong enough wind to affect the baseball. Drop down, little semi-sidearm throw that time for a strike. 1-1 goes the count here on Kidd. It's the ball 2. 2-1 the count now against Caleb. Kidd singled his first time up. That one a little low. The catcher tried to church the mid up real quick to get the benefit of the call, but couldn't do it. 3-run the count, 3-1 now the count here against Kidd. So it's going to be semi-protecting the plate. Swing and a miss. As count goes full against Kidd. Takes ball 4. I bring up Tyler Hodge now. Second time Kidd has reached base today. See if Pontotoc comes out and elects to be a little bit more aggressive on the bases now, as they're dug into a 2-0 hole. Trailing in this one is that's a strike. As Hodge sort of a little animated after that. Kidd gets his lead. Hodge digs in. Throwback nowhere near in time. As Caleb dove back safely. Hodge singled his first time up. Looks at a ball. Big swing and a miss that time out of Hodge. Looked like he chased one a little on the outside that time. 1-2 goes to count. As the Pontotoc dugout trying to get behind him here. Oh. Got him looking at that one. Hodge goes down looking. As now Gregory will come up to the plate. One out here. That last pitch looked a little low. But as I said, I'm sort of at a bad angle to be a judge out here. One away. Bottom of the third. Itawamba leads 2-0. First pitch delivered for ball 1. Throwback, not in time as Kidd got a little bit bigger of a lead there, but dove back safely. Kidd goes. Throw high, not in time, and steals the base successfully. So now Pontotoc has a runner on second here with one out. Good jump on the ball that time. Caleb had just lowered his head and dug it out all the way through second base. So now Pontotoc with the runner on second, one out. Gregory at the plate for Pontotoc. Waiting the pitch. Looks back the runner. Gregory steps out of the box. Digs back in. Swing and a miss. Took a big cut at the baseball that time, did Gregory. Gregory popped out his first time up. Pontotoc has a runner on second. High for a ball. One thing I will say, though, this catcher for Itawamba is pretty good. He's able to get the glove down in the strike zone quickly, not even thinking twice about it. And with being able to do that, there's going to be some close calls that's going to go Itawamba's way in this ball game. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's the fourth strikeout for Itawamba. Jacob Kidd now up to bat with 2 outs. Runner on second. There's a shot. Found the gap. This should score 1. Hits the gap. Dives in with a double. Well, Pontotoc gets on the scoreboard. Off of Jacob Kidd. Double that time off the fence. And with the field being a little wet, that might have a little play in it as the ball just sort of stuck on the fence that time. Center fielder had a little trouble finding the baseball. But now you have a 2-1 ball game. Runner on second. That's now Hamilton, who doubled his first time up, is at the plate with a runner on second. 2-1 Itawamba advantage here in the bottom of the third. I brought some life back to that Pontotoc fans. Looks at a ball. Well, umpire versus umpire, this one's a little bit easier to read. If he don't move at all, it's going to be a ball. Had one umpire in one ball game that was just animated on the ball as he was a strike. Swing and a miss and fouled that one back. Good chop at the baseball that time. Just a little bit below it, popped it back. 1-1 goes the count here against Hamilton. There's this chopper. Foul down the third base side for strike 2. One and 2 the count here against Hamilton. This one's going to be popped up. It's going to be put out by the center fielder. Saw the guy slip, so I thought there might be a chance of an error that time. But either way it goes, to put out for the third out to end the inning. But Pontotoc cuts into the lead, 2-1. Itawamba advantage here as we'll switch to the fourth. Let's take a look now. The Warriors rallying around Kidd here, trying to get back in this ball game. Cut the lead in half after the bottom of the third. Off a Jacob Kidd double. Your score is 2-1 here as we move to the top of the fourth. Adam Gore bringing this action here on Channel 13. Go by and check out our website, www.w07bn.com. I believe O or 0 both will get you to it. Pitch high for a ball. This hasn't been an A game out of Kidd so far, as that one's fouled way out of play. Back and over the building. But Kidd's the type of pitcher that even though he might be struggling, he can still come up. He gets some big outs and deliver the pitch when Pontotoc needs him to. Little half-hearted check swing that time to the third baseman, makes a stab at it. Throw across the way to first and makes the play, I tell you. Holt has come to play today. He made a great jumping grab at a baseball a while ago. Made a good backhand stop, that time another good stop. And the put out for the first out here of the fourth. This baseball will be fouled out of play. Once again, drifting near a vehicle. This one's lifted, coming in your living room. Nice play that time, catching it right before it goes over the fence. Did Hodge. So the second out. As Martinez, number 33 at the plate. Oh, didn't know what to do after that one. Swings at strike one. Too quick out here in the fourth. Check swing, looking at the ball. There's a foul ball, dribbles off the edge of the bat. Two outs, two strike here on Martinez. See, in between the change of the innings, I'm going to get a shot at some hardcore fans up there for Pontotoc. There it is. Got him looking at strike three. Caleb Kidd, as I talked about, when he needs the big pitch, he'll make it. You look at him over there going to the dugout. He's fired up there as he got Martinez for his second strikeout of the day. That time got him looking as Pontotoc, no harm done that inning. As your score remained 2-1 here. And folks, as I said, you've heard of the cheap seats. I'll show you the extreme cheap seats. So we take a pan out there. Now those, my friend, are the cheap seats. Give you a wide pan view of where they are, so this camera don't really do any justice here. So you take a look at the field compared to them. They're a long way from the field, but that's what you call hardcore fans heading out to the cheap seats. We'll move to the bottom of the fourth. Pontotoc trailing 2-1. And you take a look at some of the faithful line the hill out here in the hollow. Looking at their team, trailing in this one 2-1. As Josh Robinson due up now to lead off the bottom of the fourth here. Time is of the essence for Pontotoc. As Robinson coming up in this ball game. Pontotoc trailing in this one 2-1. Pontotoc needs that breakout inning. Try to retake this lead, or take the lead for the first time today. Waiting for the first pitch. Swings on it. This one's lifted. That one's gone. That's what we needed right there, folks. Josh Robinson. First pitch, first swing. Home run. We got a tied ball game at 2 apiece. Robinson crossing home plate. And the traditional home run mob there. That one went over. I want to say that was about 345. As Holt now is up. Swing on the first one, and it's hit foul. Well, the last time we had a left-hander hit a home run, it dropped about 5 foot from me. If it comes this way, there's going to be a lot of people scattering. That one low for a ball. There's a strike delivered. It appears the count goes 1-2. That's right, 1-2 is the count. Fouled the first pitch off. Looks at a ball. 2-2 goes the count. Two to the count. No outs in that one, borderline. But the count goes full. Two is your score. No outs, full count. Holt delivers a shot. Diving second baseman couldn't get to it. Rolls out to the outfield, and that's going to be a single. Good base hit delivered there by Holt. Tyler coming up with a big hit there, as Walker now will come up for Pontotoc with a runner on first. Or Kerry Walker. I think I might have called him Mike. I know a Mike Walker. If I do, I apologize. But Kerry Walker now up to the plate. Runner on first. 2-2 score here from the Hollow. And this is every bit of what we expected to be here. Shows bunt, pops it up. Third baseman charging, makes the play. Got a high pitch or a bad pitch to bunt on. Committed to it, made the contact, and just popped that one out. Well, they try to get the sacrifice down to advance the runner, but unfortunately couldn't get it to go. As now they go back to the top of the order here. J.J. Hester at the plate for Pontotoc. Runner on first. Scores 2-2 here for Pontotoc. And Itawamba knotted up in the opening round of the grade 8 here in the 4A battle. Oh, goodbye. There was no questioning that one, as that was a 2-run shot out of big hit J.J. Hester. That was a towering shot there. Second home run here of the inning. You knew that one was going as soon as it made contact. Hester getting mobbed again. Now Pontotoc takes the lead here. 3-2 over Itawamba as we're in the bottom of the fourth. That, my friend, was a shot. It headed towards center field. It went over just a little right of the 350 mark. A little left of it, excuse me. I forget I'm backwards to him. But that, my friend, that pitch was touched. You got a meeting at the mound after 2 home runs given up here in the fourth between Itawamba. They're going to talk things over, try to get everybody back here on the same page. They don't want to get too accustomed to Pontotoc making the outfielders just watch that one right as the center fielder off that last pitch. All he did was just turn around and watched it go. Well, that was a 2-run shot there. For JJ. I believe now the score is 4-2, excuse me, instead of 3-2. 4-2 is your score here in the Hollow. And there is life in that Pontotoc dugout. There's a shot down the third base side. Backhand grab, not in time. But right there was a hustle play by Caleb Kidd all the way down the first baseline. He knew he was going to have to hurry. The backhand stab was not there. And there's a single collected. That's Tyler Hodge coming up. 1 of 2 for the day. He's single and struck out in the ball game. And we look for that breakout inning. Pontotoc has broke it out here in the bottom of the fourth. Scored 3 runs, 2 home runs in this inning. 4-2 is the lead. First pitch, low in the dirt for a ball. Well, the Itawamba pitcher now has gotten a little shaken and stirred in this one. As you can tell, his delivery a lot more jerky, a lot more rushed than it has been rather smooth throughout the game. Little sidearm drop down. for a ball. 2-0 goes to count here on Hodge. Well, this may help take some pressure off Caleb Kidd when he retakes the mound now, as the score is 4-2. There's a strike delivered. 2-1 goes to count here on Tyler. Steps out, gets his count. Nice little cool breeze just came through. That felt good. Runner takes his lead, jumps, and that one fouled back out of play. 2-2 now the count against Hodge. That one pitch high for a ball. Count goes full. There, I believe is no outs here in the inning. Oh, excuse me, no, 1 out. Runner goes, swing and a miss. So he struck him out, but the runner does advance. As Hodge goes down the second strikeout on the day. Now Hayes Gregory, who is 0 for 2 at the plate today with a pop out and a strikeout, steps up with a runner on second with 2 outs here in the 4th. Adam Gore bringing this action here from Pontotoc in the Hollow. Grade 8 baseball. The winner of this one advanced to the Final Four between the Ridgeland and Oxford winner. First pitch delivered, a ball. Of course, this is a game that even people as far south as some sports message boards, as far south as Jackson has been talking about. There's a shot. Nice grab that time by the second baseman. And the put out will end the inning. But the damage was done. 3 runs scored that inning by Pontotoc off of 2 long balls. Hester had a 2-run shot. Robinson added to it. And Pontotoc now up 4-2 as we'll go to a break. We'll come back with more right after this. As Pontotoc takes a warm-up, we take some looks at some more crowd shots here out in the right field lounge. I started the season off here in Pontotoc with usually out here all by myself. But I see now we get deeper in the playoffs here. More and more people coming out to the ballpark to support their Warriors. Also a little mix of Itawamba fans out here. As we are moving to the top of the 5th inning. As Rain now will lead off the inning here. Trailing in this ball game, 4-2. Rain grounded out his first time up. We'll see how Kidd comes out now with a 4-2 lead. Gets the first pitch swung on, hit to the third baseman, loses it, gathers it in time. Another great play over there on the corner. Take a look at the third baseman there. Tyler Holt, he lost the ball but gathered it quickly enough, barehanded it, and threw it down the first for the first out here in the 5th. Up now is Long. He popped out his first time up. First pitch delivered a ball. Looks at strike 1. 1-1 goes to count here against Long. Might ever want to go by and thank all these people that's sponsoring the ball game. As we said throughout all the sports seasons, without these sponsors, of course, these games would not be possible. This one fouled back out of play. 2-2 is the count. That one for a ball. Well, of course, the next game will be played Saturday at 1. Of course, with the airing of this, as that will be a walk issue to Long. Bring up Trotter now with a man on. As I said, this next game will be played at Itawamba. So a very crucial game for Pontotoc to pick up the win here at home. Don't want to go down 0-1 on the road. This is the best of 3 series. As Trotter walked his first time up. Steps up, then steps out. Can't make up his mind here. Now he digs in. Kidd, the runner on first, delivers for a strike. Oh, 1 the count here against Trotter. Swings on that one. Half-hearted shot. Diving effort that time by Kidd. Gets up, throws him out at first. Great play that time. Unfortunately, I couldn't keep up with it with the camera. But Kidd dove out, sacrificed the body, made the grab, turn around, threw him out at first. 2 back-to-back good plays for the putouts here by Pontotoc. Now we're back to the top of the order. Weatherford is back up at the plate for Itawamba. He's walked and grounded out his both times up. The infield coming in, cheats up a little bit. This one's going to be a little chopper, foul ball. Well, Kidd's come in and he's kept the batters on their toes here, as he's got a lot of ground balls in this ball game. A lot of them doing good to get past the pitcher, as he's keeping the batters guessing on what he's throwing. That one in the dirt. 1-1 goes the count. Long is on second for Itawamba. They trail this ball game 4-2. That one low for another ball. 2-1 goes the count here against Weatherford. Hopefully the rains will hold off, as there's a hard pitch delivered for a strike. Weatherford knew that. He just took and ducked his head and walked off. No plate, just trying to shake that one off. Swing and a miss. Kidd stepping up big there, got the strikeout. No harm done, as we'll move to the bottom of the 5th. Pontotoc 4, Itawamba 2. As we come back to action now, Jacob Kidd will lead off here. Of course, Kidd sparked the rally here as Pontotoc now leads 4-2. He had a big double that scored a run. Robinson stepped up a batter later, hit in a home run. And then 2 batters later, Hester added a 2-run shot to the ball game. And that's where we sit now. 4-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. This one swung on, popped out of play for strike 1. It's one bad thing about being straight away with a pitcher or a hitter when it comes out to this side of the field, is you can't really judge on it. But hey, if he wants to park one in front of me, he's welcome to. Let's hit strike 2. He thought that one might have been a little high. Didn't chase it. But now is behind in the count. 0-2. Swings on this one, hits it right up the gap, finds the gap, goes to the center field. As he thought about turning two, but he is going to stay up for a single. So the bat has been there today for Jacob. He popped out his first time up, got a double that time, and a hard shot right back at the pitcher for a single that time. As now Nathan Hamilton, who's got a double and grounded out his first few times up, will be stepping up to the plate. No outs. Swings on the first one, is going to be cutting out here to the outfield. Comes out, makes the play on the ball, thought about trying to throw it in, but no, the first baseman was not ready. So just a pop out that time by Hamilton. Hamilton struggling on the day. But Robinson, who had a home run his last time up, struck out his first time up, now digs in with one out. Runner on first here for Pontotoc with a 4-2 advantage. Robinson waiting for the pitch. Looks at strike one. (4-2) is the score. This one lifted, coming towards us, putting the left fielder on the run. Couldn't get to it as it falls foul. It's a brave soul parking the big bus over there. So I've seen many a foul ball land in that area. Fortunately for him, there has not been any hit that direction as the runner takes his lead. 0-2 the count here. Has the ball, 1-2. Robinson, as I said, had a solo home run his last time up. Takes this one, little grounder to third. Third baseman catches it in foul territory. Lucky break there for Itawamba because he had trouble scooping that one up. This sort of come up in his chest and took a hop out of his glove after he made the catch. So the count will remain 1-2 here on Josh. Chased a bad pitch that time, half-hearted swing for a strikeout. Robinson goes down on strikes for his second time today. As now up, the third baseman, Tyler Holt, will step up to the bat now. I tell you, Tyler's playing a great ball game from the infield. Has some great plays over there on the hot corner of third base. Runner takes his lead. First pitch delivered low for a ball. WCBI making their stop, and now they're gone. See, this is the only place you can get full high school coverage. This one's going to be hit towards the outfield and the put out. That's going to do it there. Left one stranded. Itawamba will move to the top of the sixth, trailing in this one 4-2. We'll take you to a break. We'll be back with more baseball action here from the Hollow right after this. And we're back to action now here at the Hollow. Your score is 4-2. As now Brown will lead off The inning here, as you take a look at the dugout for Pontotoc across the way, holding on to a 4-2 lead here in the first of a round of 3 games between Pontotoc and Itawamba. 2 teams that should be called the definition of rivalry when it comes to sports. Always competitive amongst each other. And have always developed, I guess you can call them instant classics on TV7. As that's ball 2. The kid coming up a little fired up a little early here as we move to the 6th. Swing and a great play by Caleb. Just stuck his glove up and made the grab. That right there is just an instinct play to try to make a grab at the ball. And he got the out. Dozier now will step up to the plate. Dozier is singled and popped out his first 2 times up. 1 out here in the 6th. Kid showing a little sidearm that time. Drop for a ball. Second one low in the dirt for ball 2. This is a shot right back at Kidd that time. Couldn't make the grab on the ball. Rolls out to center field, and it's going to be a single for Itawamba. Well, that's been a while. Actually, to be honest with you, Itawamba batted all the way around before they recorded another hit. And so it's been at least, let me count back. Well, we'll just put a while since Itawamba's got a hit. They've put runners on via the walk. And if I think I'm scoring right, it's only the 2nd hit allowed in the ball game. Is that pitch in the dirt? This one smacked straight up and out of play. That one went about 5 miles high that time. Of course, the bad thing about baseball is once you try to track a ball in the air, it blends in with the sky. But it is me, myself, and I, also known as Adam Gore, brings this action from the hollow. Check us out, www.w07bn.com. That one fouled out of play, or fouled back, excuse me. 4-2 is your score. One and 2 the count here. On Prestige. There's a shot by Prestige to the outfield. But the grab is made. He dropped it. On trying to relay it in. The runner didn't see the drop, so he's going to go back to first. So there's a break for Pontotoc. On the relay, he lost the handle on it. Did Hester. And the runner goes back to first. As they thought that was going to be a grab. But instead, Prestige goes out on his 3rd pop-out of the day. It appears we are going to have a change here. Made by Itawamba. As Nichols is going to check in. Nichols in his first action on the day. As he's getting a few words of advice here from the coach. Itawamba trails in this game 4-2, has a runner on first. 2 outs. Here in the top of the 6th. Throw back to first, not in time. Check swing, did he go? And he did for a strike. Strike one, 0-1 the count here on Nichols. You got to imagine a good crowd will find its way out to Itawamba tomorrow here from Pontotoc. As that looked like a strike from here. Swing and a miss that time. Ball got away, but a good job by the catcher to keep it in front of him and quickly come up with it. As 1-2 goes to count here on Nichols. That one a little low that time for a ball. 2-2 goes to count. Kid, I think, just tried to put a little bit too much on that one, trying to get the strike. Kid takes the mound. The runner takes the lead. That pitch high. Count goes full. Well, he got up on him quickly, 1-2, but now he's letting him back in the count. 3-2 goes to count now on Nichols. 4-2 is your score. We're in the top of the 6th inning of play here. Pontotoc's advantage. Runner goes. Little check swing, gets into the outfield. Tries to throw it to first. Don't know what he was doing there, but a good job by the catcher to be there and back him up. So just come up throwing a little too hard that time. They lucked up and got caught in a hit and run. As Nichols apparently came in and did his job. Got his base hit to advance the runner over to third. Now Martinez will be up at the plate with runners on the corner. 4-2 is your score. Martinez has grounded out and has struck out. As Pontotoc calling in the infield here. Last time we saw runners on the corners for Itawamba, they coached the catcher into throwing to second. The throw was not in time. And now the runner scored from third. So that's how the first run scored in the ball game for Itawamba. Your score though now, 4-2. A big 4th inning for Pontotoc, 2 home runs. Drove in 3 runs. And they lead now 4-2 here in the Hollow. A long meeting at the mound where the coaches discussing let's try it a different way. Talking about how they want to go after this. You take a look at Kid coming off the mound. The infield taking their spot now. Martinez at the plate. 2 outs here. Pontotoc wants to get out of the inning. Not allowing Itawamba to cut in that lead, as they have been a comeback team all season long. That pitch in the dirt. There's a shot. Finds the gap. That'll score 1 run. And they relay it in. As Martinez comes up with a single. It's like it's Crane is this kid's name. Martinez first hit of the ball game. A big hit there. As it now, the score is 4-3. Pontotoc holding on to a 1-run advantage. 2 outs here in the 6th. Runners on first and second. Pontotoc wants to get out of the inning before any more damage is done. Crane has popped out and grounded out. His first 2 times up. Pitch delivered for a ball. Ball 2. 2-0 the count here against Crane. (3-0). Kid just trying to throw a little too hard here as his pitch is a little low in the strike zone. They just threw that one in there for a strike that time. 3-1 goes the count here. Runners on first and second for Itawamba. This one is hit up. Drifting foul. And the second baseman caught off. He caught off Hodge that time and did not make the play. So Itawamba escapes one there, as that should have been an easy put out to end the inning there for Pontotoc. 3-2 the count. Runner goes, and the ball rolls foul. Well, after that present to Itawamba, Pontotoc has got to come up and end the inning here. Should have already been out of the inning, but instead the batter stays alive. Runners go. Pitches high, gets away from him. Runners advance, and now the bases are loaded. Long is up to bat now for Itawamba, as he's going to have a little quick chat with his coach. Long will dig in at the plate. Well, we talked about Caleb Kidd and his ability to step up and get a big out when they need it. Caleb, now is the time you need one. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 4-3 is Pontotoc's lead. The swing, foul back for strike 1. We're in the top of the 6th. 4-3 is your score. Pontotoc's advantage. Bases loaded. There's a strike. 1-2 goes the count now. Kidd looking to get out of the jam. Delivers, shot right up the middle. Second baseman makes the diving catch. Throw over to second in time. And Pontotoc gets out of the inning there. A huge jam, but a great play that time by the second baseman. He made up for the miss fly on the out in the foul territory by coming up, making a nice diving stop. Delivers the out to second. Pontotoc up in this one, 4-3 as we move to the bottom of the 6th. As we move to the bottom of the 6th, take a look at the ladies' coach, Coach Bill Russell, hanging over center field, being part of the center field fanatics that's on their feet. They've been here throughout the entire ball game, and they're looking at their team holding on to a 4-3 lead here as we move to the bottom of the 6th. Well, Pontotoc now wants to add a little bit more cushion to that 1-run lead. I believe this is Walker at the plate now. Walker's 1 for 2 on the day, a single and a pop out. Looks at a strike. Mind everybody go by and check out the website, www.wo7bn.com. So to get in there for a strike. 0-2 goes to count. Has the ball. Catcher tried to shift the glove over to get strike 3, but didn't get the call. 1-2 goes the count. Two goes the count now as that pitch gets away from the catcher. Although it is overcast. A great night for baseball out here at the Hollow. Playoff baseball action. Itawamba trailing in this one 4-3 to the Warriors of Pontotoc. As the count goes full. We got a little action brewing over in the Pontotoc bullpen. As Robinson getting warmed up. And hopes with the opportunity to close this one out. This one popped up, fouled back, out of play. Ooh, falls into the crowd there. Normally they drift over the building, but instead that time just drop down somewhere near where they take up money on the entrance. Well, Walker's battling. 3-2 is the count here on carry. This one popped up. The catcher calls it off. Comes up and makes the grab. A dangerous area for a pitcher to make the grab off of as he's had to run back over the top of the rubber. A lot of times you see players getting tripped up over the mound or over the rubber, as that was nothing but a pop out that time though. As now big hit Hester stepping up to the plate. Hester is 1 for 3 on the day. He's got a pair, or he had a 2-run shot last time up that once he made contact with it, everybody in hearing distance of the bat knew it was gone. Now he digs in with 1 out. Looks at ball 1. There's been no notification of any action going on here in the bullpen for Itawamba. But as we talked about, or as I talked about, I guess I should say, Itawamba is not deep as Pontotoc in the pitching department. That pitch delivered for a strike. Nice pitch delivered though there by Itawamba. Hester waiting for the pitch. 1-1 the count. Hits this one. It's sliced into the outfield and put out by the center fielder. 2 away here in the 6th. Well, Caleb Kidd could really help out his cause with a base hit here in this one, as there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Kidd looks at strike 1. That one pitched low in the dirt for ball 1. Ball 2. 2-1 goes the count here against Caleb Kidd. Caleb's had a pair of singles and walked today. Ooh, looks at strike 2. 2-2 goes the count here on Kidd. So he's got to protect the plate now. Swings at that one directly back to the pitcher, who is going to toss out Kidd to end the 6th. Well, we're going to take it to a break. We're going to go to the 7th. Your score, Pontotoc 4, Itawamba 3. So Pontotoc's got to come out and close this one down here in the top of the 7th, holding on to a 1-run advantage here. Everything we anticipated, folks. A great ball game out of Itawamba and Pontotoc. We'll take you to a break. Be sure and go by and thank these fine sponsors you're about to see here on Channel 13 for bringing this action from the Hollow. Adam Gore will be back right after this. As we're back to action, Pontotoc not electing to go to the bullpen here. They're going to let Kidd go the distance in this one. Caleb Kidd coming onto the mound here in the top of the 7th with the opportunity to go the distance and close this one out. Pontotoc holding 4-3 lead over Itawamba. We're in the opening round, game 1 of a 3-game series in the Grade 8 round of high school playoffs. Adam Gore bringing this action here in the 4A playoffs. You take a look at Kidd there, getting ready to go. There's going to be crucial outs here. Pontotoc get 3 up, 3 down. We're calling it a ball game. Itawamba making countless comebacks throughout the season. There's a shot. It's hit, and that's the first one that's gotten by Holt today. As that was a hard shot hit at the feet of Holt that time. Couldn't come up with a play. As that's going to be a leadoff single by Trotter. Trotter will check out with a courtesy runner. Weatherford comes back to start off the top of the order. Throw back to first, not in time. Shows bunt. Pulls back as the pitch was in the dirt. 1-0 goes the count. Runner takes his lead. A little bit before Weatherford gets in the box. Weatherford showing bunt. Lays it down and it rolls foul. But you got to think, after showing 2 straight bunts, they may pull back, take a little chop swing at it this time. Try to catch the infield cheating up, see if they can get a little blooper over the head of the infielders. 1-1, the count. Squares up to bunt again, gets it down. Throw to first in time. They get to secure out that time. As Weatherford advances the runner on a sacrifice bunt. Now the runner representing the tying run is on second. The winning run at the plate. One away. That's the ball, I think. No, that was a strike. Pitched a little high that time, Kid. Put a little bit too much juice on it. Now the count goes 1-1 here against Brown. Got him looking at that one for strike 2. Nice little change-up curveball that time out of Kid. Froze the batter. Did nothing but watch it that one go by. 1-2 goes the count. Runner on second. Got him, strike 3. Got him looking. Big pitch that time out of Caleb Kidd. Two outs. Take a look at Kidd there. He's 1 out away. Doing the smart thing now. He's taking a walk off the plate, or off the mound. Collecting himself. as Caleb Kidd 1 out away from closing this one out. 4-3 is your score. Dozier at the plate. I like that move by Kidd. Collected himself, walked around a little bit. Made sure everyone had an opportunity to gather themselves, get on the same page. 2 outs here. Dozier at the plate. Runner on second. Kidd on the mound. He's had 4 strikeouts on the day, has Caleb. First pitch delivered, ball 1. Pitch 2. Apparently a little high. 2-0 goes the count. Check swing. He did check it up. As the count will go, leave 3-0 here against Dozier. Dozier digging in. Ahead in the count, 3-0. Bat stays on the shoulder and he looks at strike 1. Okay, that time just made the accurate throw over home plate. 3-1 the count now. Swing and a miss by Dozier. Well, here we go, folks. The fans on their feet here in Pontotoc. Caleb Kidd. 3-2 the count. 2 outs. Delivers. And walks him. Now, the winning run is on first. Hodge comes over, tossed to Kidd. Gets him back under control. Thought he got him chasing a bad pitch that time, but instead checked up on it and drew the walk. Runners on first and second for Itawamba. 4-3 is your score. Swing and a miss, strike 1. This one fouled out of play. Strike 2. 0-2 the count. Take a look at the Pontotoc fans across the way on their feet. The dugout fired up here. Caleb delivers in the dirt for a ball. But another great job by the catcher, blocking that one and not allowing the base runners to advance. 4-3 is the score. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Game 1 goes to Pontotoc. As Pontotoc wins a great one here over Itawamba. 4-3 is your final. As Pontotoc jumps ahead in the series, 1-0. Caleb Kidd with a huge strikeout there. He struggled throughout the game finding his control, but as I said, he's the type of player that when you need a big pitch, when you need a big player to step up, Caleb Kidd is going to do it. Kidd recorded 5 strikeouts on the day and is our defensive player of the game. Have to credit J.J. Hester with a 2-run home run as your offensive player of the game. As you take a look here at the Pontotoc faithful going to greet the outfield fanatics, or the center field fanatics there. Another great ball game here out at the Hollow. Well, that's going to do it. Your final score here from Pontotoc, 4-3. As a great ball game as anticipated here in Pontotoc. We're going to take you to a break. Remind everyone to go by and thank all those fine sponsors for sponsoring this action here in Pontotoc. You take a look at some of the players coming out there after a huge win here. They've got to gather up, weather permitting, a big game coming up Saturday in Fulton. I will be there on hand. Wouldn't miss that one for the world. Hopefully Pontotoc will sweep that one in too, because I've got finals starting Monday, so unfortunately school will have to do me in for that one. Hey, this is Adam Gore. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, go by, tell the sponsors you did. Also, remember to go by and check out our website, www.w07bn.com. And let's talk about this baseball game in Pontotoc Warrior Baseball. Also like to wish luck to all of our other teams still in the playoffs here in our viewing area. And that's going to close it out. Your final score in a great ball game, 4-3. Pontotoc takes game one.